A quick note on terminology. So if you have a function that goes from D to R, there's some different terminology for what exactly is happening at the sort of destination set for this function. So everybody calls the starting point, the collection of inputs for the function, everybody calls that the domain. But when it comes to possible outputs, some people call this the range and some people call it the domain. So when I say possible outputs, I mean, to write down a function, you have to say what all of the inputs are and what possible outputs are, without necessarily implying that every possible output actually is ever produced by the function. So all possible outputs is, again, either the codomain or the range, but you might be interested in not just the possible outputs, but the actual outputs that come out of the function. And the actual outputs, some people call that the image, which is nice because it's a different name, but some people call that the range, right? So some people use the terms domain, range, and image for inputs, possible outputs, and actual outputs. Some people use domain, codomain, and then either range or image for inputs, possible outputs, and then actual outputs. So there's this ambiguity in terminology for what exactly range means. And for that reason, I'll try to avoid using the term range, but I will probably slip up now and again. And sort of in the math world that I was brought up in, I guess, mathematically speaking, range meant I use this sense of these terms. So for me, if I slip and say range, I will usually mean the collection of possible outputs, not the collection of actual outputs. So, but if I do slip up, let me know.